Number one, 23 ladies will enter the start line and will take just 14 through to round two. The same as the men. Ski, board, swim is the order, and so far the last 2 days have been dominated from the lady from Newport, Olivia Clue. She's been there in the Shaw and Partners Iron Series this summer, steps back into her own age group racing and has been dominant. She hasn't had it all her own way, but 2 wins from 2 races. It proves the quality of the young lady.
It does, and certainly going from the enduro to the specialist. So you're really getting all sorts of, not only, pace, strength, everything across the board. She's won them both, so she's definitely a top favourite going into today.
Yeah, she's on the other end of this line down there. Ski is her best leg, so watch for her there. Closest to us, that is, Millie Derbyshire. We know that name, Derbyshire. Sister Lucy. She was the original winner here in the Next Gen Iron Series. She won it 4 summers ago. So her and Kai Taylor were the 2 original winners there. So we're looking for a little, generational thing here. The girls are off and away, and a little bit of trouble on that top side for a couple of the girls really struggling. Annalie Philpott there from the Northcliffe Club. Oh, Clues is off. Clues is off on the right-hand side. She's just gone over, and she got off to a fly, got clipped by one off the side, gets back on and going again, and she's still not too far down, but that is not what you want and not the way you want to start. The heart rate will be through the roof. She'll be feeling a little bit stressed and under pressure because this was her best leg, and now she's going to have to fight her way through a couple of these girls just battling. And that's one of the ladies that I thought would do really well here. From Morty Alec there, Gemma Holt. I spoke to her old man this morning. She's just struggled to find time in waves, Gemma there, and she's really battling the surf down here at North Burleigh. So she got hammered there. But the leaders, they're out in front, sitting very pretty at the moment and very comfortable. And Clues at the top-hand side, building her way back into this one here. And there's Gemma Holt trying to get onto the ski and get going again.
Oh, we can just see if you get held up once, twice, 3 times. And it's also not only, getting held up and you're losing that time, but you're also fatiguing yourself as well. So it gets harder and harder. And unfortunately, she's going to have to really get in and get going. But we move out to the leaders at the moment. It's all pretty spread out at the moment. Remember, we're taking that 14 like we just saw the men, so the girls know what they have to do.
Charlotte Hart, Dakota Luke, the Burleigh girls starting to wind up. They've been very, very good. Sitting second and third on the point score, and on the front at the moment is our top 3, just really winding up. Millie Derbyshire not too far away. You can see her on the inside trying to cut around there. Charlotte Hart doing a great job. She's been really strong all weekend, and she's had a second and a third so far this weekend. Really good results, but when Clues is 1 and 1, it gets very tough to sort of make inroads. That's for sure. She sits 3 points behind our winner. Dakota Luke, formerly of the Sunshine Coast at the Dickey Beach Club, now down here at Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park, has been, I would think, the best ski paddler all weekend. She's sitting pretty in second, Clues in third as they wind up and around, and we're just taking 14 through to the next round. They're very, very spread out at the moment, and they're really struggling. They're going 4 and 5 wide around those cans, and there's plenty of waves on offer as well.
Yeah, there is. We saw that in the men's just before. There are plenty of waves out there, and they take you all the way through as well. So on the ski, if you can pick one up, it looks like we might be seeing a couple of girls on this front wave. We just saw Hart and Luke just have a little look behind, see how many athletes are coming down that. But Clues is coming down, so we might have the top 3 girls out in front at the moment. They'll be very happy to set their races up.
Cruising there. Transition for Charlotte Hart has been so good all weekend, and with these really, really long transitions, expect her to make a big move. 3 more coming down the wave behind, pushing over the top of this one. Girls will be loving it at the moment. Had a little bit of drama. That might be Tully Elliott on the right-hand side from Redhead. Third in an enduro round number 1, went in on the ski, snapped her paddle, stood there for about 30 seconds while a handler went around and grabbed another paddle for her, still worked her way back into the race and got herself through to the round. So watch for Tully Elliott later on. That's not her there. She's just working her way down, and Charlotte Hart's just gone off the back there. Not what you want. Dakota Luke, Olivia Clues sitting pretty. Looks like Chelsea Wood from Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park doing the good thing. And Millie Derbyshire up and away and into her work. So all the big names, most of these girls sitting in sort of the top 5 or 6 on that point score, have done a fantastic job. That is Hart. That was our leader going around the cans who's just come off, and all that hard work can come undone. Ty Dowker, you know better than anyone, mistakes will kill you in an eliminator like this, and you just can't have those sorts of mistakes.
Yeah, especially at this level in terms of that, Josh. You've got to be on point with your skills, and we saw that coming in. But the skills in the shore break, but also the back bank, and skills the ability to pick up the runners. Millie Derbyshire has done a wonderful job with that ski, now going to her favourite leg of the board. Had a chat to her yesterday, and she was all smiles. She said, I'm loving this next gen and loving the moment. But as we see now, the shore break starting to play havoc.
Oh, that's it. There was plenty coming through. The girls in the back half here. Tully Elliott, who I was speaking about from Redhead, Katie Nat, now at Currow, Riley Meyer, India Holbert of Wanda, Tara Shotter. Watch for these girls. I think they can be very competitive. Kai Sugars from Currow and Abby Carter is the last one to go through. She sits inside the top 14. McDonald, McManus, McHardy, Shearer from Terrigal, Michaela Mead, who's just picking up her board there. She sits in 19th place. Philpott from Northcliffe, she goes in 20th at the moment. There's a few more still working their way in on the ski. You've got a lot of work to do because they're well over 30 seconds down on that lead group at the moment. You can see they're getting hammered on the inside. The North Burleigh inside break is brutal.
It really is. You've got a couple of actual swells, I guess, to challenge yourself there. So you've got this one, which is the nastiest. This is the heaviest. We saw a couple of the athletes really on that ski find it tricky to get out. And then you've got a middle section, and then out the back. Don't be fooled. Sometimes you can feel a random wave here and there. You just see some of the front runners there just popping over. That was that one I said out the back there that just pops up every now and then. Very hard to read, and sometimes it'll just catch you out.
Yeah, that is exactly right. The girls sitting in Indian file, just rolling along, looking really, really comfortable at the moment. No dramas at all. Out in front, Woods still sitting there. Clues, Dakota Luke in third place, and that is the stretch at the moment. That's the red zone, if I'm completely honest. All of these girls sitting right on that edge, and the Maroochydore cap, Grace McManus, was in 16th place. She was in the centre of that group. We can see here, trying to cut across. I think that is Lani Waller just on the edge of the shot on the left, trying to get into the top 5. Australian surf race champion for under 17s, Australian board race champion for under 17s. Ski was always going to be her toughest leg. She'll work her way into this one very, very nicely.
Yeah, she paddles that board very, very well. So for this first race for the women's ski, board, swim, obviously in the board at the moment, swim to finish, and it is a big swim at the moment today. It's, as we spoke about the waves, those 3 sets of waves that you've got, you've got the short dump, you've got just past the gutter and the back break, should I say. So those swim cans are a fair way out. So long swims comes down to fitness and who's done the work.
Chelsea Wood, Olivia Clues, Dakota Luke, been around, well, Olivia Clues hasn't, but Chelsea Wood's been in this series before, finished outside the 20s, and now comes back a second year and a little bit more experience, and you come back and have a look at them go. Absolutely flying at the moment. All the girls down on the stomach. I expect they're saving the legs a little bit. Clues trying to wind up ever so slightly in the background there. There's Dakota Luke, Millie Derbyshire trying to work her way into it. Lani Waller in the centre as well. Oh, Dakota Luke picks one up with Olivia Clues. Those two will roll down and come up and alongside the leader. It's all about board speed through this hole, isn't it? You've got to keep that board moving, and all 3 girls drop off.
Yeah, you can't kind of sit up and kind of let your board roll over. You've really got to do it yourself and put all those extra meters in. And if you do that and you're putting that little bit extra in the person next to you, you might just get down that wave. That might stretch you out that extra 50 meters.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want there. The girls, they're pushing very, very hard through this gutter. You can see coming over the top of that little shorey there, rocks back, great skills. The nose dips under. And it's those little gaps that make the difference. You get up first, you get into your transition, you start to go to work, and you feel very, very comfortable and a little bit of confidence as well. The Burleigh girls hit the beach along with Olivia Clues from Newport. They start to go into their work, and it's still Chelsea Wood out in front. That ski wave for her, she was close, but that ski wave has just given her so much confidence. Ty Dowker, the Burleigh girls are on fire. It's Burleigh versus Olivia Clues from Newport at this point.
Yeah, it's all about playing to your strengths as well. And Chelsea Wood, phenomenal board paddler, but now goes into probably the next favoured leg for her. And Olivia Clues, the ski leg in the board as well. And then back to that at Dakota Luke, Charlotte Hart, Millie Derbyshire in the mix there as well. So the girls doing a wonderful job. Now, you got, to me as well, it's the ability to conserve as much energy as the chase pack now make their move of 4 and another 4. So it's still game on to make the top 14.
Yeah, that's exactly right. These next 2 groups are your 14s. There's Nikita Nissen-Seren. She goes up and around as well. The girls working their way through the back end. There's Tully Elliott who rolls through that. That group's also got Emma McDonald of Northcliffe just sitting in second place. This group here sitting right on the edge. Grace McManus working her way into it. A couple of these other girls, Tara Shotter from the Northcliffe Club, Kate McHardy as well, who's just in that second group. These girls are under pressure. India Holbert from the Wanda Club, that's that light blue cap with the red stripe down the centre. Did very well in the Enduro on Friday afternoon, and I would have expected her to be a little bit higher as she goes through here. But these girls in the red zone right now, the young lady from Terrigal, Elizabeth Shearer there, she is under the pump and outside the top 14.
And if these girls miss that second race in this one, which unfortunately we have to unfortunately knock out a few athletes, it's a really great experience. It's a really great learning curve for them as well, to be here for the next gen, experience not only the Eliminator, which is the toughest format of all, but also day 3 of racing, going back to back, enduro, specialist, Eliminator. You're going through all energy levels, all energy systems throughout those 3 days. So for them, they're going to learn a lot about themselves as a person and an athlete. What's my best recovery? What can I do? So for every single athlete racing today, they're getting so much from this.
You're spot on. Heading into the swim, he's sitting hard on the red zone. Tara Schotter in 12, McManus in 13, India Holbert in 14. Sitting outside qualification, Katie Nat of Karawa, Mead of Allura, Shearer of Terrigal, and Philpott of Northcliffe. Abby Carter, Gemma Holt, got plenty of work to do, well outside a minute 30 down on our leaders, and that's our lead group of 6. Olivia Clues has gone to the front. She's not hanging around. She trains with the likes of, Annalise Kibble, Lizzie Wellborn. She knows what it takes. She's done a proper Eliminator in the Shaw & Partners Iron Series in round number 1 at Wanda this year. There's nobody in the field more experienced than her, and she knows that sitting on the front of these races allows you to dictate the pace, allows you to settle down and be comfortable, and you get first shot at all the waves.
Yeah, for Olivia Clues at the moment, you can see she's just using that experience that she's got, even though she doesn't have the experience of her age on the paper, but what she's been through, as you said, who she trains with, who she's raced with. She's been put up in open teams before, obviously been part of the Shaw and Partners Iron Series as well. So for her at the moment, there's athletes, Olivia Clues is a great example of they need to kind of really push themselves in the earlier racing because it gets them warmed up. It gets them into that next energy zone. And we've seen Ali Day likes to do that time and time again.
Well, I think, and I saw it with you doing in this, it's the athletes that sit on the front, get comfortable, and you don't save it up in the first 2 races and produce in the third. It's about getting on the front and setting your pace and setting your tone. It looks like Chelsea Wood in second place. Charlotte Hart's worked up into third there. Dakota Luke, the white cap. She's just got the white swim cap. Lani Waller, the yellow with 2 maroon stripes, just moved from the Redhead Club down to Newport on Sydney's northern beaches. He's doing a very, very good job. And Millie Derbyshire hanging onto the tail there. That's not the Surfers Paradise cap you're used to seeing. That is the 100 years of Surfers Paradise. They normally have the iconic blue cap with the yellow star. Now they've got a blue and yellow stripe sort of number there. So that's her sitting in 6th place, just out on her own ever so slightly. If I'm Millie Derbyshire, I'm trying to find some feet and hang on.
Yeah, especially at this time of the day, I think as well. You want to get to that top 14 and then you've got to really get ready for that second race, which we go obviously down to 8. But we've got our leader there at the moment, Olivia Clues, body surfing very well, beautifully, and she knows it's going to fizzle out. Doesn't matter how good of a body surfer you are. Unfortunately, it's going to stop you in that gutter. But beautiful there. You can see not even another athlete on screen. So she's taken herself from, I guess, 5 athletes there, wash riding off her, to now stretching out and getting the lead.
Out on her own, will be feeling very comfortable. You can see swell starting to come through. A couple might get a little push here, but it won't be much more than a push. Little wave on offer, it fills up. And, the most brutal thing in surf sports, you think you're down one, you think you've got a wave, and Mother Nature just pulls it away as it starts to fill up. Clues out in front. I think she's struggled in her swim this summer especially. She's gone away in the off-season as part of the Australian junior kayaking team, went to Europe, raced a lot of events over there. That's why her ski's so strong. And she probably didn't have the swimming for a few months there, being in that kayaking program. She's had to come back and do a lot of work, and she's an incredible athlete. I can't say enough good things about her, but I think over the next couple of years, if her swim continues and, she chooses surf over kayaking, who knows what she'll do. I think she could be one of the best in the business. But that lure of the Olympics, the lure of kayaking, and the opportunity to potentially win an Olympic gold medal is very, very big on an athlete like this. And it must be tough to be so talented at 2 different sports and having to choose between them. But Olivia Clues is putting on a show here today. Winner of round 1, winner of round 2, and now winner of race 1 here in round 3 of the Shaw & Partners Next Gen Iron Series. She's done it in a canter.
Yeah, she's done so well. She looks incredible, and she's obviously also behind the scenes what we don't see. She's done all her recovery perfectly, spot on, because to be able to produce and be the athlete that you want to be on the 3rd day of racing, Olivia Clues has done it all right. So well done to her. So she'll now have a little stretch out, a little bit of a warm down there, because she will be going into race number 2 very soon. We'll be going from 14 to 8. So not too far away to see Lani Waller there on screen, making her way through. She'll get in easy as well. And and they'll back to back after this.
Yeah, easy from Waller. Great swim for her, the Australian under-17 surf race champion. She did it very, very easy. Dakota Luke and Charlotte Hart working their way up the beach. The two girls from Burleigh Head, Mowbray Park, and looked comfortable the entire way. Millie Derbyshire there, Chelsea Wood just behind her. These girls, they've done a great job. They'll walk across with plenty of rest. They'll get a little bit extra here, and that is what it's all about. You can see them straight to the ground there. Charlotte Hart in the road. They look over the shoulder. Derbyshire and Wood come across, but it's not the top 6 that we're all that worried about. It's this group here. We're taking 14 through. There is Nikita, Nissan, Sarah, and maybe Shotter as well coming up and around. Big run from McManus. India Holbert's there. Oh, I do not know which of these girls will get through, which of these girls will miss out. We'll do the count when they come across the line. Michaela Mead as well. Very, very tight for some of these ladies. And I think, the rest of these girls, they might be going home. Katie Nutt, we might have done too much. Yeah, we do. Michaela Mead from Allura, last one in. The young lady from Allura gets in. So Mead, Holbert, Shotter, McDonald, Nissan Saren, Elliott, McCarty, McManus, Wood, Derbyshire, Luke, Hart, Waller and Clues. And we say goodbye to all these ladies. Unfortunately, not what they would have wanted, but that is racing. Gemma Holt, after that ski leg, she fought hard to get back into it, but it was just too little too late.
Yeah, unfortunately it was. And it's so tough. It's so tough. And Ty Dowper on the beach, he knows just how tough it is.
Yeah,